Hi, this is Jeremy Kellett, Director of Recruiting here at Oakley Trucking, and I'm your host for this podcast. This is the Oakley Podcast, Trucking Business and Family, and this is episode 75. So on today's podcast, we are going to take care of all the rumors that are flying around out there about safety. Get all this logging stuff out of the way, and looking forward to that. I actually got Roger and Dustin both in here in Safety Department going to give us an update on what we're doing with ELDs. So that's coming up here in just a minute. But first, before we do that, I want to give you an Oakley update. And this Oakley update is sponsored by Arrow Truck Sales. So here's a couple things real quick on the Oakley update. One is some of you guys might have got some years of service decals in the mail. So what we did is by month, we are printing your years of service decals because the shop has the color that you have on your truck. We'll make sure we get the right color. And we are mailing them out to you every month. So, and they just say, if you've been there 6 years, it's going to have 6 years of service. It's all the decals probably 6x6 or 8x8, something like that. And it looks really good, and we want you to display it on your truck. And then shoot a picture of it and text it to me if you would, and we'll show that. That means a lot, years of service decals these guys get on their trucks, and we have a lot of people proud to do it. So you will be getting yours the month of your anniversary date, so remember that. Also, Driver Appreciation Week is coming up, and just want to let everybody know we're going to shoot you an email, but we're mailing you a gift. So be on the lookout for a gift for Driver Appreciation Week coming to your mailbox. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, so it's really good. We stepped out and stepped it up and did a really nice gift for all our owner-operators, and it'll be mailed out to you. It'll be there for the week, and that week is September the 12th through the 18th. Also like to recognize an owner-operator every week on the Oakley update, and the one this week is Mike Fast. Mike is from Inman, Kansas. His truck number is 9333. He drives a 2020 International Lone Star. If you haven't ever seen it, you will remember it when you do see it. It's like a lime green International. It really stands out. He may get mad at me because I don't know the exact color, but I know it's like a lime green truck, and it's really good. So he runs a pneumatic division. Mike Fast has been here 14 years. Little word from his dispatcher. His dispatcher said, quote, does a great job, stays out for a little over a month at a time, never complains, will do anything that is asked, takes care of his equipment, never has had a customer complaint. So congratulations, Mike Fast. Glad to have you for 14 years at Oakley Trucking.
Hi, I'm Keith Wilson.
And I'm Trey Visor with Arrow Truck Sales, Springfield, Missouri.
We've worked with Oakley Trucking over the last 8 years.
We specialize in getting new operators approved for trucks and upgrading existing ones.
We carry a wide selection of all makes and models of used trucks.
We pride ourselves in helping our customers through every step of buying a used truck, including service after the sale.
It's my first time being an owner-operator, so it was first for me, and they made it real easy for me. I wound up getting a 2018 579 Peak with the Cummins 450 and a 13-speed. I worked hauling cars for 15 years, and I've been driving about 23 years. Yeah, I would send everybody I know to Mr. Keith over there at Arrow Truck Sales. I've had a really good experience with him, and first kind of guy.
When you come to see us, make sure that you mention you heard this on the Oakley Podcast.
We'll get you half off your first payment when financed with transport funding.
Give us a call at 573-216-6047.
All right, let's get started with this episode. Talking about safety and the new ELDs that's going into Oakley owner-operator trucks starting now. We have Roger Carson, Safety Director with Oakley Trucking, and Dustin Barnett with us today to go over this stuff. Give you a little detail of what's happening with these ELDs. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Sir. How are you?
Hey, if you would, real quick, introduce yourself. Start with you, Roger, so everybody knows who we're talking to.
Roger Carson. I'm the Safety Director for Oakley Trucking. Been here a little over 32 years, so glad to be here.
Family?
They're all doing well.
You got a wife and how many kids?
Wife, 3 kids. They're all on their own, and
Doing good.
Doing good.
How about you, Barnett?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so my name is Dustin Barnett. I'm the safety manager here at Oakley. I've been here for going on 5 years now. Live in Greenbrier, Arkansas. I have a 2-year-old son and a wife. And yeah, we're all doing good.
Congratulations. That's good.
Yes, sir.
So let's just dive right into this stuff because I'm sure there's been some rumors out there about what we're going to do with ELDs because we've had 10 guys sampling these ones that we're going to. So I'm sure that word spreads pretty quick, of what's going on at Oakley with the ELD. So just tell us what we're going to and how it's going to work.
Well, there again, the current product that we have right now, the OmniTrax IVG, is, we're running a 3G model, and 3G's phasing out at the end of the year. And we do have some 4Gs that'll, would still work, but we're looking at a completely different product. Geotab, which is it's a product that's run through our TransFlow.
So the EL or the IVG units, you're saying that they're a 3G and a 4G, so that's going away at the end of the year?
3G's phasing out, yes.
So we either have to
Update, and that's what we're doing.
update with them or update something new.
Right, and we're doing something new.
Gotcha.
The Geotab will be operated, through their phone as an app, through our Oakley app, or through a iPad.
Okay.
They have a choice.
So how'd you find this Geotab? Is this something that's well known? I mean, it's a good one, or?
Yes, sir. So Geotab is one of the top leaders in telematics. And I know it's an app-based feature, and just to get a little bit more detailed, the device itself is still plugged into your ECM. So it's still reading all the ECM data, and it still abides by the ELD mandate requirements. But the interface that you're viewing those hours on and changing your status will be on the Oakley Trucking app. The drive time, just like you're used to, as soon as you start driving, it'll put you on the drive line. It's not going to be tied to any GPS position on your phone or your tablet or whatever device you're logged into. It's just the interface that's showing that data.
So I'll get to get rid of all this stuff in my dash and that big keyboard or IVG unit.
Mm-hmm.
I get to get rid of that.
Yes, sir.
The mounting bracket. I mean, this is a wireless plug into ECM.
It is, and it'll be tucked in under the dash, so you won't even see the Geotab device. It'll be kind of hidden off from view. Whatever device you're portraying that on, there'll be a tablet, Android, iPad, iPhone. It just has to be mounted in a fixed position and readily viewable from the driver's seat. But it will get rid of all of that extra cable. You won't have to drill holes in your dash like we currently have to with the IVG. It'll be whatever mount you prefer.
Nice. That's exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, getting rid of that and going to a phone or a tablet, that's, I like that.
Yeah, getting a lot of good feedback from the 10 trial units
Are
that
you?
we have. Yeah.
What kind of feedback you getting from them?
Well, we wanted to get it out there to our guys and get their opinion. Of course, when we make a decision like this, we want to get the owner-operator's perspective, get some real data coming in from them internally here to our department to see if it's going to be beneficial for safety. But more so on the driver's end, we want it to be user-friendly for them. And what I did nearing time to make a decision, I called those trial period, and I just said, well, if I need to route you back in here to the yard and swap out to a OmniTrax again, would you want me to? And 9 out of 10 of them said no.
No.
They liked the Geotab. They had great feedback. They said it was a little different in the beginning, just going from an IVG to the app-based system, but great feedback, minimum issues, great response time. So you can imagine on your cell phone how quick it is. You can text, and it's pretty touch sensitive. The IVG currently, some of the older units, you have to tap several times in order for that button to really press, or we have some problems with sensitivity. But
did they think it was a lot user friendlier than the IVG?
they did.
They did?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And it doesn't matter, I mean, what phone they have, I guess, as long as it's a smartphone. And do y'all prefer to recommend the tablet or the iPad?
Well, we're kind of bringing it like a bring your own device as far as the interface, so it's really owner-operator specific. Out of the 10 guys that we have using it now, about 8 of them are using I'll say about 7 of them are using their iPhones. There's one with an Android phone, and then the other 2, there's one iPad and one Android tablet. So we have a very good range of devices to test.
How long have we been testing them?
3 months.
Several months now.
Okay. So you feel, I mean, that's long enough. You get some good feedback.
Well, yeah, yeah. And basically, they're all going to be running on 5G or 4G, but more likely 5G. And reliability of the software, because, you know, we hadn't had an issue with software since we installed them. So, you know, in the 3 months, I think we had one little glitch here a while back, and that was probably more so of a, what was that? They had that glitch. They went down.
Yeah, that was a minor
Deal for a couple hours, but come right back up, and so. And then, you know, I think we're going to be able to do this for a little less than what we've been charging. We've kind of made us a bundle to take care of everything. Whereas before it was kind of broken down into, you know, payments. But I think we're going to bundle it all for $24 a week.
Okay.
And that includes the TransFlow.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So you're saving about $2.50
$2.50 a week
by doing that.
Yeah.
Plus, you know, we're able to do this, upgrading all this equipment for just a little more than what we were able to do with the Omnitrax. So we think we're getting better equipment, less downtime, which is good for the drivers, because, you know, for those of you that had the issues with your units out there now, when they black out or you have to go to paper logs, it's a hassle and that. And currently I don't think we've ever had anyone go to paper with this new Geotab.
So in the long haul, I mean, looks to be so much better. Less maintenance, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe
downtime
not.
for the driver, you know, shop repairs, you know, having them bring them into, you know, North Little Rock to get their unit fixed. And, you know, and there again, you know, we're not downgrading Omnitrax whatsoever. I mean, they've been a good fit for us for years. And, you know, we're just moving in a different direction.
Yeah.
So
I think it's good. I mean, you got to change with the times or you get left behind.
Yeah,
right?
you do.
So
let's talk about that for a minute of changing everybody over. Y'all want to talk about that and what that plan is, because we've got over 800 owner-operators, and we're going to we just now starting putting them in the new guys coming. So we've got to get 800 changed over by when?
Well, it'd be great if we could just wake up Monday morning and it'd be done.
Yeah, wouldn't it though? That'd be awesome.
But, yeah, we're looking, it's probably going to take a little over 6 months to make that happen.
Oh, is it?
Because, you know, we're looking at doing anywhere from 20 to 25 a week, you know.
So it's going to be easy to install, though, for the shop probably, isn't it?
Well, yes and no. I mean, you know, before the Omnitrax, you know, the IVG was the long install, and the camera was short. Well, on this, it's just the opposite. You know, the Geotab install is going to be quicker than the camera install. But, you know, and what we're looking at doing is we're going to do the install, you know, truck specific. And what I mean by that is, you know, if you were to bring in 5-6 different, you know, styles of trucks into that shop, they're having to do 5 different, you know, body styles. Whereas what we're looking at doing, we're doing all Freightliners. You know, that's going to be the first install. Then we may do Peterbilts, then Internationals, then KWs, and so on.
Because you got to have specific
equipment,
ECU,
right.
Or I mean, whatever
Plugs,
it is, the plugs.
cables, and so on.
Yes, sir.
And
What cables? I thought there wasn't any cables.
it's not running through the dash like
Oh,
they used to. Right now, they will plug directly in the back of the the plug-in for the ECM.
Yeah, so they call them harnesses, so that each truck has a different harness.
oh.
And it's not very long at all. It's hidden underneath the dash,
Gotcha.
but there has to be something to plug into the ECM port.
So that's got to
and
be
then the device
specific to
plugs
the
into.
make of the tractor.
Yes, sir. And you can have 9-pin with different connectors, 14-pin. It just depends on your make, model of the equipment.
So we're getting all the Freightliners first.
Yes, sir.
and Going that
That's
route.
the game plan.
That's the plan.
And I'm sure, when you do truck trades, if we've got time while they're, truck trading, and we got time to do a oddball install, we've got stuff on hand where we can possibly, get that done.
Okay.
And there again, it's all about coordinating with the shop, the dispatchers. These all these Freightliners, we've got them broke down by dispatchers. So a dispatcher will get his list of all his trucks that are going to be ready for the install, and then they'll have to coordinate that with the shop.
And it'll have to be here in North Little Rock. Can't do it at Reserve, right?
I'd like to.
But right now,
No. I'd like for Jolly to do it too.
Yeah.
While he's out there.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice too.
Pull him up in the parking lot and just.
We'll see if Jolly's listening. We'll get it.
Yeah.
They would get it. Yeah, they would get that.
But he has done stuff for us out there before,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's not something he probably couldn't do. But it'd be great if we could do it in three places.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, Reserve, and here. But right now we want to get our Toby wants to get a handle on it here before he starts trying to.
Yeah, because you're probably going to have some issues at some point, I'm sure, just trying to figure it out.
Well, the biggest issue is you install it there, you got to train them.
How to use it.
Right.
Yeah. How are
So-
we going to do that?
Well, that's going to be the problem. That's why we're looking at doing most of it here, because that way they can just come in here and then get their training.
What's the training consist of? Watching video, us showing them how, anything like that? We're going to do a video maybe that'll help simplify some things.
We have about a 14-minute long video we might send them with, but we want to get hands-on. So we want to get you in the classroom, download the Oakley Trucking app, log you into that recipient ID, show you the integration with the hours of service tab and then the load information.
Okay.
We want to set you down in that orientation room and plug our phone in and then show you and go through our demo account while you walk through it yourself.
Okay.
And then there's also some literature we can hand you at the end just in case. I'm sure you'll still have questions. If you're sitting in your truck that night, you can just kind of look over and be a good resource for you.
But, I mean, it's still the hours of service. I mean,
It is.
that's all the same. It's just a different device you're trying
Right.
to use it on.
But
It
it's
is.
still change.
Yeah.
I mean, and doing it at this time, I mean, we're just, I think it's now, other than the issues we've had with the IVGs, but, I mean, we don't get near the phone calls we used to get. I mean, I could remember on a Monday morning, you'd have 80 phone calls, because somebody forgot to,
Yeah.
do something to their log. They didn't log off when they got home. They were on duty all weekend. And, they're just going to have to learn to edit that stuff, which is, it's fairly simple if you just do it.
Like anything else, I guess you got to get used to using.
There you
Figure it
go.
out. Use it every day, and then you'll
Yeah.
get good at
And
it.
there again, it's
What about the camera? It's still same camera with it?
It's going to be a different camera. So we tested out about 3 different kinds, and we landed on Netrodyne. It's going to be a standalone camera, so that data that's triggered there's going to be another cable. It's going to be ran to that same ECM port. It's going to be connected with the Y cable, so you're going to have your Geotab device plugged in and the camera reading your ECM data. And the camera has its own cellular signal, so all those events are going to be retrieved from the camera. Currently, with OmniTrax, it's paired to the IVG, and that's how it's getting that video footage to the safety department and to the server. So, hey everyone, this is Dustin. I'm out here in our shop. I wanted to go through some of the hardware that we discussed during the podcast.
Here is the Netrodyne 210 dash camera. It's going to be running to your data diagnostic port, either through your headliner or tabbed across the top of your windshield, whichever you prefer. It'll be going down to the data diagnostic port as well as the Geotab device. So it's going to be registering all of your ECM data through that same port. We're able to do so with this Y harness. The Y harness is able to splice into that data diagnostic and pull that ECM data for both the Netrodyne dash camera and the Geotab device. And all of this wiring that you see here will be tucked and hidden away, so you won't be able to visibly see it.
That's pretty high tech there, Barnett.
It is, and it's going to benefit the owner operator and the safety department. We're going to be able to retrieve that video within seconds, opposed to what we're used to. It takes about 10 or 15 minutes to get a 3-minute video. So we're going to be able to retrieve that footage a lot quicker.
Nice. So upgrade on the camera too.
It is, yeah, a great upgrade on the camera.
That's good. So better pictures, better video, which means better stuff for us to use in court if needed in case of accidents.
Well, accidents and the other big thing about the Netrodyne is, the training aspect. You'll be able to, recognize things that, drivers should be trained on, whether it be speeding or, stoplights or rolling stop signs, things like that. So it's also a training tool.
Couple of questions a little bit off the subject, but I had one of our owner operators ask me one day about downloading their last 6 months of logs, and they were having trouble with that. Y'all hear much about that, or is that something simple that they'll be able to do on this new device? Will they have them, or do you know?
Yeah, was he having an issue? Was he one of the trial guys, or was this?
No,
was he using OmniTrax?
No, this was OmniTrax.
Okay. It'll be similar to what they're used to. We'll get the layout and get with our rep there at TransFlow to get us the breakdown, but it should be similar. A login, and then just download your last 6 months worth of logs for tax purposes.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to do,
Yeah.
I think. I was trying to get him an answer on that. So.
Yeah, I can give him a call after this. I'm sure sometimes if that company ID on the OmniTrax end isn't entered correctly, it could flag the error, but we can work with them on that.
So we're starting it now. We're ready to put some in, which this will be another week or two as we're recording this now. It'll be another week and a half before this comes out, but
we'll have started by
we'll
then.
have started putting them in and trying to route guys in here as quick as possible, to starting with Freightliners first.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And like I say, we've already put some in, we have this week as well. Probably do some next week, but, probably the week after is when we're going.
The training is the deal. That sounds to me like, getting them here to train instead of one by one. You need to train several at a time, don't you?
Be great.
If you can coordinate that.
Yeah.
That's the hard part right there. If you can get them in the shop at the same time, but it's trucking, so they don't know where they're going to be. We don't know. I mean, you got to get it while they're in here.
Yeah.
And get them done. Okay. Awesome. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, we're excited too.
I mean, that's going to be a little new era for us, and we've come a long ways, even with the IVG units.
Yeah.
Who would have thought we
Yeah.
made it this far? What else do they need to know about these new Geotabs, you think? We've covered the connection, the camera, installation, the training. What else? Advantages, disadvantages. What's the negative?
Well, let's do advantages versus negatives.
There you
first.
go. I like
The advantage is, if you've got this unit on your phone, let's say driver goes home, okay, and he, hadn't been home in 2 weeks. He jumps out of his truck, he goes inside, and then after a while he realizes, man, I forgot to log out. Well, he can, without going back out to his truck, he can just open his phone, go in there, and log out of the system away from the truck.
Nice.
And same way with during their pre-trip or during their loading or unloading, they can have the device in their hand and do it outside of the cab.
Very
So, that's a big plus. Other pluses, I think advantages of that is, there again, it's compact. It's not something that, you know, big and bulky. They got to screw into the dash. I mean, they can put them a little magnet on there and just stick it to the dash. Still, even though it's a phone, it has to be mounted according to the, you know, ELD regs. And with the tablet and the iPad, whatever, you're going to have a bracket to mount those to the dash.
Yeah.
Because that's
So they need to purchase a bracket.
Yeah, well,
we're not going to have any brackets here.
Well,
No, sir.
Okay.
what we have done with, you know, we have utilized the IVG brackets for some. I know one of them's using it. I don't know if the other one is, but they've been able to fit their, you know.
Do we know where, and they probably know where they can go to get a bracket to, I mean, I guess they're just like a normal mount your phone here
Yeah, we had
type deal.
someone
So
run into town in a truck stop here, but we'll try to find locations in the area and
get a link or something where they can have it bought before
Mhm.
they get here would make it nice
yes, sir.
and have it mounted. So, okay, that's good.
Yeah, they're using their device. They're not using our device, but, you know, I think it's a lot simpler for them because, you know, it's something they're always going to have with them.
What about, and if you don't want to answer this question, just say skip it, because I was just thinking they got it in their hand, and I've heard y'all take phone calls of a mechanic got in there and drove my truck around. I mean, I guess he's got the phone in his hand. He's at the house. Will he know if that happened? You know, because I know that's messed them up on their 34-hour restart.
It has, yes, sir.
And it will when he signs in. If he's logged out and he signs back in, it's going to post a unassigned driving, just like it does now.
I've heard y'all take a few of those phone calls over. Seems to be a problem.
We always tell them reject whenever you sign back in on that drive time.
Right.
If you accidentally accept that mechanic move, it kind of eliminates anybody making edits to that.
Right.
And it really messes up a 34-hour restart.
Boy, doesn't it, though?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's some advantages. Handy, you can use it. Don't have to go back to the truck that's parked up there 10 miles away and log off. What about disadvantages? We found any negatives with these things much?
Change.
Just change. Yeah, I mean, that's...
And that's, you know, that's what I see as the biggest negative. You know, just it's a change for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, it's, you know,
Training,
the
learning,
the learning,
changing.
the time that they have to come in here.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think they'll see that it's well worth it. For especially the guys that's had issues with the other product, you know, because...
Well, and if it's on our Oakley app, which, you know, everybody should know that the Oakley app and the TransFlow app, I mean, are kind of all in one. You know, that's how you send in your paperwork is the Oakley app. It's going to be on there, so it's just going to be another icon, I guess. I haven't seen it, but
Yes, sir. Yeah, at the top of that, it'll look very familiar with what you're used to seeing on the TransFlow app. It'll be an Oakley trucking app, and then there'll be an integration for the Geotab hours of service as well as the sending and receiving of the loads.
sweet. I like it, guys.
Yes, sir.
I like us, you know, as y'all as a safety department, not being idle and always looking next best thing for our owner operators. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Keep this train moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
By the way, congratulations on Safety Professional of the Year 2020. Acknowledged that the other day from the Arkansas Trucking Association.
Well, thank you. And there again, you know, yes, I received the award, but, you know, that's a collective thing. I mean, you know, from my staff and the drivers out there on the road. I mean, you know, they're the ones that make it happen.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it's all about, you know.
Anything else you guys need to add? We cover everything you had?
Well, I put a few notes here just on questions I've received we might go over briefly.
Let's do it.
One of them is data use. So there's a lot of questions on, well, if I'm using my iPhone and in my data plan, how much data is this going to use? And I know a lot of plans out there are unlimited, but I think it's still good to know. We're seeing between 4.5 megabytes and 5 is what the average data use is, which is extremely low. And that all depends on if you use the integrated Copilot. So you will still have a Copilot license if you want to use it for navigation, and that may extend that up some as far as your data usage, but on average it's about 4.5.
So, simply put, they shouldn't affect their usage.
Yeah,
Their
you're
data
right.
plan for the
Yeah.
month. And that's, you know, like he alluded to, the Copilot, the more you use that, the more data that it will use. But, you know, the biggest thing we've seen was on the upload of the Copilot. It takes a lot of data to upload it.
And
But
we're
one-
trying to limit, we're going to put you on the guest Wi-Fi here in the office, but when you make that initial download of the applications, so that way it'll limit a lot of that data usage just on the download. I've already got with our IT department and got some passwords in place for a guest network, so that way it'll eliminate some of that. Just in case you do have a maxed out cap, it'll eliminate you being charged that in the beginning.
Okay, good.
And just briefly, I know I alluded to it earlier. I just want to make sure everyone understands. So JJ was in here yesterday. We got his unit installed. And jokingly, I said, well, don't run across the parking lot too fast. It'll put you on the drive line. But it does not run off any GPS pings on your cell phone. It has to go off your ECM data of your truck. So if you get parked for the weekend, your wife or spouse picks you up at the truck stop and you drive home just because you're going 70 miles an hour in your personal vehicle, it's still not going to affect your logs any at all.
Oh.
So that's just that's a good thing to know. We were getting a lot of questions in the beginning on when it puts you on the drive line and if it's
So it's
just
not
by
going
habit.
off the phone, it's going off what's in the truck.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I could see that question being asked.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a valid question too.
Yeah.
I don't know if JJ's that fast,
There's
5 mile an hour. He might be able to.
There's
get it
no
up
stupid
there.
questions.
Yeah.
Okay, is that it?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yeah, that's all I have.
I think that'll do it.
Man,
And
that's good.
There again, feel free to call us guys and, give us your opinion. But, whenever if you're in here and it's not your turn to put it on, stop by and see us and we'll show you what we're
If you got
What
the
you're looking
equipment,
Yeah.
it's possible to get it done.
possibly. But, if they want to see what it looks like,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
before it's their turn to get it on, they can come see it.
All right. Well, man, that's good stuff. I appreciate you guys clearing up all the rumors about the ELDs and what's going on. So it's all
Well, it's not no rumor anymore.
it's happening now.
It's
So
coming.
it's coming, and that's good. Change is good. People remember that. I mean, we got to change with the times to stay above, because this company is a notch above everybody else, and we got to keep it going that way and stay in it. So appreciate you guys coming and explaining that. It means a lot. This podcast means a lot to a lot of our owner operators. They listen to it for information like this. So appreciate you guys listening. Be sure and share this stuff. Go watch it on YouTube. Subscribe to it, like it, and help spread the word about this podcast, because we're using this as a tool, as you can see right here, to get the word out about Oakley Trucking and communicating with you. So thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.